Be to the Lord, my dear listener. I hope you are good and well kept of the Lord. Today I'm here to speak on the topic never give up in life. Sometimes life throws a lot on our way until you are left confused, defeated, and even not knowing what to do. Sometimes we are subjected to a lot of struggles, a lot of pains, until we have no energy to move on. But I want to tell you, even with that, life must continue. Because you are given a chance to live by God, you must continue living, you must continue moving on. Life has never been easy, even for Jesus himself, for disciples who were there before us. They struggled with life. It brought them challenges. Their eyes were threatening, but they were able to stand and they move on. And that is why we are there today. And that is why I also want to tell you, we must stand and emerge winners. I want to encourage you through the story that is written in Genesis chapter 32, verse 22 to 32. And this is a story about Jacob, who was set to move and meet his brother Esau. And they started off with his family members, and they carried all the property that he had. And when they reached River Jabbok, he crossed them, but the word tells us that he remained behind. And there came a man who restored him throughout the night. And when he saw that he was not winning the battle, then the word of God tells us that he hit his hip and he got a dislocation. Then this man told him, "Let me go." But Jacob told him, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." Then he asked Jacob, "What is your name?" And Jacob told him, "I am Jacob." And this man told Jacob, "You will be no longer called Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and men and overcame." And I want to tell you, my dear brother, my dear sister, I believe since then, Jacob's life was never the same. His name changed. There was a total transformation of his life. And this is why I am telling you, you must also fight. This battle came when Jacob was not prepared for it. He even didn't know the reason for this man fighting him. But when it broke, he gathered all the courage around him and he had to fight because life had to continue. He had to defend his life. He had to move on living. My dear brother, my dear sister, out of that struggle, he was blessed. Out of that struggle, his life changed. Out of that struggle, we have somebody that we can reference to be encouraged. I want to tell you that for you to be able to move on, for you to be able to stand strong, you must purpose to do so. And that is why I want to tell you, there is no battle that will alert you when it is coming. There is no battle that will tell you the reason why it is coming. But what I want to tell you is that anytime a battle come up, be ready to fight. And don't fight with fear. Because the promise that God has given us is that He will give us strength, He will help us, and He will protect us. So God is with us. He is there watching us. He is there to encourage us. He is there to help us and to protect us from being hurt by those who are fighting us, by being hurt by the situations that you are going through. So you need to be strong and know that you will not die in that situation. You will not be defeated by that in that battle, because the Lord has promised you victory. Remember again, God's promise is that He will never leave us, He will never forsake us. And this we find in Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5. So you need to know, as you fight, you are not alone. God is there actively fighting for you and actively fighting for your life. He is a participant in this battle, and so you need to know that through Him you will win your battles. Remember what Paul said, "I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength." So God is there to give you strength and to make sure that you are a winner in that battle, in that struggle, in that situation. So be encouraged in this moment and know that God is with you. When you are in those battles, you need to know again that this battle does not belong to you, especially if you are a child of God. And this is what God told Jehoshaphat when he was being engaged in a battle, that the battle does not belong to you, it belongs to me. All what you need is to stand your position and see what I will do. And this is recorded in 2 Chronicles chapter 20. My dear brother, my dear sister, the battle is not yours, the battle belongs to the Lord. Stand where you are supposed to stand. Do what you are supposed to do, and wait and see the victory that God will grant you. You also need to know, in battles and struggles of life, you need to keep praying. Just like we see Jabez doing it in 1 Chronicles chapter 4, verse 9 and verse 10. Jabez is a man who was born with a lot of pain by her mother, and because of that, he was given that name Jabez. But when he realized that, the word tells us that Jabez prayed to the Lord, and he told him to bless him, to give him more land, and to make sure that nothing that may cause him pain that will come in his way. And the word tells us that God granted the request of Jabez. So my dear brother, my dear sister, when the battle is so tough on you, you need to keep praying. You need to keep calling upon the name of the Lord, and you will continue to see God do it for you. So you need to fight for your family, fight for your job, fight for your faith, fight for everything that you believe in, and by the help of God, you will emerge a winner. I don't know what the struggles of your life, I don't know what you are experiencing, what you are going through, but my encouragement to you is that you have to stand strong, you have to remain focused, you have to be determined, and you have to stand in the faith that God is with you and He will win this battle for you. So be strong, be courageous, and move on with life without fear, for God is there to grant you success. Thank you very much, and may God continue to encourage you. May God continue to make you strong. May God continue to protect you for His own glory. Thank you, and be blessed.